All right, shalom. Good morning, boys. Here. Well, if anybody knows anything about me, I'm from corporate America, and uh, one of the certifications that I have is very highly sought after. It's called the Green Belt Six Sigma certification. It's all to deal with process improvement. And one of the beautiful things about my corporate background is that it's prepared me to be an efficient and effective homesteader. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, you know, homesteading is a lot of work. But if you're efficient and you know how to utilize the resources that uh, is given to you, then you will know how to like knock out two and three birds with one stone. Like everything that I do, it has to be multitask. It has to be multifaceted. It has to lean towards solving a multitude of problems, not just one problem. So what does that have to do with what I am showing you right here? Now, this is a raised bed that uh, I use to grow food. And what I do during the wintertime, like all my raised beds, as you see all these raised beds right here, is I condition my raised beds in the fall and wintertime so that by the time the spring comes, I am able to plant into a nutrient-rich raised bed. So what does that mean? Uh, During the fall, uh, late fall, I'll clean out the raised bed of any weeds, of any uh, overgrowth, and I'll take all it out. And then what I'll begin to do is I'll begin to fertilize my raised beds, and I will use three primary sources of nutrients in order to uh, revitalize these raised beds. Number one is the sheep manure from the sheep pen, and I will sprinkle this in there, and it will add the fertilizer necessary to the raised bed. And number two, what I will do is I'll go ahead and add leaves, a good source of nitrogen. I will also go ahead and out of the wood stoves, I will sprinkle and constantly sprinkle wood ash into these raised beds. Another thing that I will do is I will put food scraps in the raised beds. And what you see here is what the chickens are doing is they're doing what they naturally do. They scratch, they peck, they break down the soil, they break down the leaves as they go to consume the chicken scraps or the food scraps. And they also poop in it, adding their fertilizer. Because as you know, as they eat, they also poop. So what I want them to do is I want them to spend a lot of time in there. So, they're conditioned that after they are let out of their chicken coop, which I'm building a new chicken coop for them, I don't usually have problems with predators or hawks. They're pretty much conditioned in a way that they can just run in free range and go ahead and get the food that they need and then go back to their chicken coop. And all I have to do is lock it up and then, get the eggs and stuff. When I'm building a brand new chicken coop, I'm doing that. But this is what they do. And this is what makes it so efficient because by the time the spring gets here, all I have to do is come in here with a little rake and do a little tilling. And this is ready to be planted. I don't have to add any kind of nutrients because the nutrients have been added and the soil has been cultivated throughout the winter and the fall so that by the spring, uh, it's done. And it's the same thing with the raised beds. The chickens will jump in and out of the raised beds. As you see, they're jumping in and out of the raised beds, and they're doing the same thing in there. They're doing the same thing in there. They're going ahead and scratching there, and they're breaking down the topsoil. They're breaking down any um, plant matter, anything like that that's growing in there. They'll go ahead and eat. And it's a cycle because see, I don't have to worry about any fertilizer. I don't have to even worry about any food I don't feed them. We don't have a budget to where we go and purchase chicken feed. That's just something that I never purchase. Why? Because they have all of the nutrients necessary. I'll give you another perfect example, right? Uh, uh, you know, During prepping times, there's times where I will not eat all of the food, and some food expires. So we'll go ahead. And a perfect example is some rice that I purchased like 10 years ago. My wife was going to throw it away. I said, no, 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 no. Go ahead and cook that rice on the wood stove, and then go ahead and feed it and put that rice inside of the raised bed, and they'll go ahead and they will eat that rice that I'm not going to eat. We're not going to eat. We got plenty of rice, but I'm not going to eat that rice. Uh, and so we go ahead and cook it down right on the wood stove, right from the well water, and that's nutrients for them. That's feed for them, and we get plenty of eggs. We get enough eggs to, uh, uh, you know, do what we need to do in terms of feeding our family. So this is how you have to be efficient. This is how you have to think about things. Uh, you have to be efficient, because if you're not efficient, it's going to create a whole lot more time, energy, and effort. You're going to spend financial resources that you don't need to in order to produce the same result. But in this situation right here, it's all natural, baby. Look at that. It's just all natural. 100% natural, 100% organic. And if anybody's seen my raised beds, man, boy, do I produce some good food. Good, nutrient rich. The soil is always nice and well fed by the time I go ahead and plant. So I don't have to do any feeding. Literally, I don't, between the chicken, the chicken scratching in there, the sheep shit, the bird poop, them scratching in here, coffee grounds, egg shells, all of that stuff goes in here throughout the course of the fall, and it gives you a nice, good, uh, uh, healthy, organic crop. And guess what? I don't spend anything at all. I just use nature, and it takes its course and it does what it needs in order to give me the result that I can clearly produce. So this is how you go about doing it. This is how you go about being efficient. Uh, but yeah, look at them. Isn't they beautiful? Shalom.